Welcome to the National Orientation Leader Workshop. My name's Danielle Sanford, and today we're going to talk a little bit about being an orientation leader and what that means with leadership on your campus. Just to give you a little background information about myself, as I said before, my name is Danielle Sanford, and I graduated from the University of West Florida with a Hospitality, Recreation, and Resort Management degree. Now I'm in graduate school at the University of South Florida, getting my master's degree in college student affairs. During my undergrad career, I was involved with many things on campus, including orientations, student transitions, housing, residence life, and student activities. Now, in grad school, I oversee leadership development in housing and residence education. So, what are some words that come to mind when you think of the word orientation leader? I know personally, when I think of orientation leaders, 6 strong adjectives come to mind. The first is a recruiter. Think about the summer. This is a high-intensity recruitment season for admissions. You need to get as many people into the school as you can for tuition purposes. As an OL, you are the first impression, so keep that in mind. Next is knowledgeable. You need to be able to relay accurate information to your students, and if you're not sure of the answer, being able to guide them to the right resources who can give them the answer. Personable. You need to have a caring and interested attitude throughout all of orientation. Entertaining. You know how to put on the charm a little bit. It's that stereotypical orientation leader jumping up and down, super psyched about their school. Strong. I believe orientation leaders are one of the strongest student leaders on campus. You stay up late hours working with your students. You have to get up early the next day, and you do this during your summer vacation. So you guys are strong. And next, leader. Now, there's a reason why it's called orientation leader, not orientation assistant. This is a leadership position that goes past your summer, and you need to keep that in mind. This should last for years. I still have students from my orientation groups that contact me. This is not a summer excursion. This is a leadership position that should last a lifetime. So, I said leader, and I feel like on college campuses, the word leader gets thrown around a lot, but no one can truly define it. Well, I don't have a definition for you either, but I do have something that might help you become an effective leader, and it's really quite simple. There are 3 words I really want you to keep in mind: model, connect, and involve. So you need to model the behavior you want to see, do unto others as you would have do unto you, the golden rule. The next is connect with the people you're trying to lead. So have that personal connection with your student. Don't be afraid to tell them about yourself. How did I start off this presentation? I told you a little bit about myself so you would connect and lead with me on this presentation. Involve. Involve the followers any way you can. It is a lot easier for someone to follow the leader if they feel like they are involved in the process. Okay, so orientation leader, that's all fine and dandy, but how does that really apply when you graduate college and want to enter in the workforce? Well, I came up with a lot of different leadership skills that you come with after you're an orientation leader. At least I know I did. So some of these transferable skills include, the first one is emotional labor. There are very few careers out there that have emotional labor, and the fact that you can put that on your resume is huge. So what's emotional labor? Think of your doctors, your teachers, and your nurses. These are the people who get emotionally invested in who they're working with. And the same goes for orientation leaders. You will hear some stories this summer that will amaze you, move you, bring you to tears. But the show must go on, and you have to continue through your orientation session. And that's what it means to be a part of emotional labor. The next is leadership development. By you attending this session, you're already kind of developing a little bit. And how do we become an effective leader? Model, connect, involve. Don't forget. Professional communication skills. This is huge. Okay, first off, employers love it. Second off, I know for a fact that I could not stand here and talk to you so freely if I wasn't an orientation leader before. I had to talk in front of hundreds of students throughout that summer, and it really built me into a professional communicator. The next is hospitality, event, and facilities management. This is your typical, how many students do I have? How many people can fit in this computer lab? Where can I go here? It's the logistics behind orientation. Then you have safety and crisis management. This goes without saying. If anything happens to one of your students, you're going to be behind that crisis management. Or even if anything happens on campus, we have severe weather, you'll be behind on that, and that's a great transferable skill to have. Adaptability, you may not think so, but think about the difference between communicating to a first-year parent or a transfer parent. Pretty different. Or even just talking to a student versus a family member. You have to be able to adapt to those different audiences. And then teamwork. Obviously, orientation leaders, we work in a team. Not one person can do it. Okay, so in your orientation binders, you should have an activity called the 5-minute personality test. I want you to take this, the instructions are on it, and when you add up all the columns, find out which letter you identify with, so which one the total is the highest. There's L, O, G, or B. Once you find that out, just sit quietly and wait for further instructions. Okay, so now you should know your letter. So where are the L's? All right, L's, you are the lions, okay? So think of the king of the jungle. You're the boss, you're in charge, you demand attention. When a lion roars, you better listen. Okay, these people can be goal-orientated, direct. Some of their weaknesses, they tend to be a little argumentative, but, you know, that's okay. And lions, you don't necessarily always understand that your darkness can come off as cruel or even mean. Okay, so this is my personal favorite because I'm an otter, so where are the O's? Okay, otters, we are people pleasers. We love networking, talking, influencing, communicating. We love it. We're just that person that loves to network and goof off and have fun. These people tend to talk too much, and some of their limitations is they are not good at following through on discipline. Then the next is you have the G's, the golden retrievers, man's best friend. You guys are so loyal and caring and calm. Sometimes you can be indecisive, you're too worried about other people's opinions, or you may need to see how you become more assertive. All right, now the B's. The B's are so important to orientation, we would not last without them. B's are the beavers. They're organized, they're creative, they do things by the book, and if you don't do it by the book, then why do it at all? They're perfectionists, and sometimes you need those. Sometimes they have a hard time seeing the optimistic side, or they have too high of expectations for not so beaver-like animals. Okay, so animals are fun and all, but how does this apply? Well, you know, think of the different situations and the different animals that might happen during orientation, and what animal do you want to be there? So during crisis, I know I would want a lion and a beaver, because the beaver would know by the book the procedure and the lion would take charge. But if I had a student who wasn't connecting, I would probably want a golden retriever or an otter to try to become friends with them and to get them to feel more involved. Okay, so these animals are fun, they're silly, but not one person is just one thing. Yeah, I said I'm an otter, but when I need to, I'm a lion, and I can take charge. And when I'm at work, I'm a beaver. I have my to-do list and everything. I was like, but when I'm with my best friends, I'm a golden retriever. I'm loyal and caring. All of us have these strengths inside of us, so I don't want you to define yourself by just one animal. So keep in mind this quote. Styles are tailor-made to different situations. Different leaders must have their own styles, and these styles must be able to adapt to different people and situations. Thank you so much for attending the National Orientation Leader Workshop, and have a great day.